going to give people a minute to hop in. And whether you come in tonight or not, I'm still going to go forward with our series tonight because you'll be able to watch it for the next 24 hours. Or you'll be able to follow us on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at S.L.A.Y. Hey girl, my boo is in the live today. Miss Arbeck girl, I love you. I'm going to let some more people come in and get started in like 2 minutes. Today's session is not too long, about 20 minutes, just like last week. I'm really excited. I've gotten so much great feedback from you guys from last week, whether you watched it live, watched the recap. So amazing outpouring of support, and I thank you guys already for what you've done and just sharing with me. And I'm glad that it's touching women and men, yes, men, with this topic of shame. And that was unexpected, but you know, God does unexpected things and lets us know like, hey, men need the help too. And I think that's great. So just a reminder, this week's title is Disclaiming Your Shame and Reclaiming Your Fame. So we're going to get started in about 2 more minutes. Let me know where you're from. If I've never met you before, if I do know you, hey girl, hey. That's going to be our new thing, y'all. Hey girl, hey. Every time someone comes in the chat, feel free to leave any comments or questions while I'm speaking. I'm going to address those questions. If something I say, you're like, what girl? I need a little explanation of that. Then I'll do that too. But let's jump right in as people are starting to fall in. And again, please like, share, add your friends, tell your girlfriends, tell your guy friends, because apparently they need it too, that they can chime in every Thursday. And there'll also be different posts throughout the week to keep the challenges going, keeping your brain working. But today, again, we're talking about disclaiming your shame and reclaiming your fame. So where does this shame thing come from? So we touched a little bit on it last week, but I wanted to dive a little deeper. There are really 3 areas of our lives that shame derives from. There's socio-cultural and familial areas of your life. So you're like, girl, that's a whole bunch of terminology. What that mean? Social media, newspapers, TV, cultural, African American, Japanese American, just regular cultures of life. And then familial, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your grandpa. You know, those are 3 areas where we get our basis of understanding of what our body is, what it's meant for. Cultural can come from religious association as well. So when I started thinking about like, man, why don't I like my body for what it is? Why don't I appreciate this gorgeous thing that God created, because I was created in his image? And I realized that a lot of it for me came from societal things, being exploited on music videos. My favorite songs, but it's the big booty girl that's shaking her butt that then affects the culture that I grew up in, because now I have the men in my lives, or the men on the street, or the women on the street that now have this expectation of, oh, because you look like that, then you should be treated like that. Or because you look like that, I can say what I want to you. Not knowing how those words can affect a person. And that's a whole nother topic. It's like, words are strong. Words are powerful. Just like in the Bible, those words are powerful. Those words have brought people through things. But these negative words have just as much power. And that's just because the devil tries to combat God with what he has. But we already know God, he's going to win in the end. We're already sure about that. And so those words, you know, they come from different areas of life. And then you think about my family, like, wait, my family has affected, you know, how shameful I am about my body. Yes, it's very true. You know, it may seem jokey, when you're talking to a little girl or you're talking to a little boy and you're telling that little girl, girl, you so chubby. Oh, you so cute, you little pudgy thing. We think it's cute. But unfortunately, those things become like your family nickname. Pudge Pudge, Big Cheeks, Double D's. And we think it's fun and games. We think like, oh, because that's my cousin. Oh, because that's my aunt. Because that's, my little brother. I can say that. But unfortunately, what we don't know as a society is that all of our brain chemistries are different. So how I might accept a title that came from, a family member of Chub Chub, Pudgy Pudge, I may not process that well. I may smile because, yes, this is my family. And so I don't want them to see that I'm hurt by what they've said. But it's processed completely different. So you have to really think about the things you say. I do it all the time with my daughter. And I'll even, revert back to what I said to her and be like, you know what, Brooklyn, I apologize. Because I don't know how that word is going to affect her or carry on with her for the rest of her life. So what are some ways we can take the things of society, the things of our culture, and the things of our family, and knock them out and tear them down and disclaim everything that, society says we should be, or society says your butt's too big, your breasts are too small, you're too skinny, you're too fat. How do we, break the cultural barriers of, well, you were exposed as a slave and so all you are is this body, or your body was not meant to be anything but an athlete and you'll do nothing else. Yes, it can go as deep as that. It can go as deep as, well, I'm going to the gym because all my body is made for it to be an athlete. You got to think deeper than the surface of why you do the things you do, why you judge your body the way you do. And then family. How do I disclaim family members? They're always there. They've been calling me poop poop, bud, pudge pudge for 32 years. How do I stop that? Well, there are 3 steps that I've come up with to help you disclaim your shame. The first one is you want to pinpoint the people and the events in your life that have you had the negative affect of what you feel about your body. I'm going to say that for you one more time. You're going to pinpoint the people and events in your life that have affected how you feel about your body. Literally, do a timeline. Sit down, write a line from birth to now. What has happened? Who's called me a name? What events occurred? What did I see? What movie did I go see? And then from that day forth, I kept comparing myself to that actor, or I kept comparing myself to that character. Write those specific events out. Once you've written them out and you see all of these things over time have compiled themselves like a snowball and continue to pile up to the point where now I feel like I can't disclaim the shame. I've embraced, those titles. I've embraced that, what, I'm not accepted because of my weight, or I'm not accepted because of my skin color, or I'm not accepted because I don't have the right shape, or too much butt, or not enough butt. You never know. So you've got to write it out first. You've got to figure out, where did it start for me? How old was I? How young was I when I started feeling these things? After you write that out, then you can either journal or write a letter to those events. Something that I've done in the past is written that letter, told those events, told those people, I didn't like how that made me feel. Because you said that thing, I made these choices. They are still your choices, but they influence your choices. Because of that one thing, I changed how I dressed. Because of that one thing, I stopped carrying myself up here and started looking down when I walked. Write that letter out. You can either choose to keep it as a reminder that you are disclaiming those events, you're disclaiming those people, or you can choose to get rid of it. You can choose to take the power back through a burning ceremony or a ripping ceremony, and it feels good. I ripped mine. I did not want to keep it. I was just like, let me tell you what you did. You made me feel worthless. You made me feel like my butt was too big. You made me feel like that I was nothing but that. And all you need to do is rip it up. You're done. You're canceled. In the words of my boy Nick Hallman from City Church Chicago, you're canceled. I'm not going to allow you to have that power over me anymore. And then the last thing you want to do is re-educate. Re-educate those people, especially in your family. The people when you're having conversations at work, let them know, hey, I know that's what you're saying. I know you think it's funny, but let me educate you. I watched you slay, and let me let you know what the real deal is. You don't know how this will affect someone else. You don't know how this will play out in someone else's life. And then we got to reclaim the shame. Like, girl, now we disclaimed it. We're going to reclaim it. We're going to get famous off our own swag, ladies. So the first thing and the most important thing is prayer. Prayer is powerful. And if your prayer can be in whatever religious or spiritual aspect that works for you. I don't have a prayer map, but all I know I can say is, Lord, take the negative thoughts away from me. Lord, relieve me of the anxiety of wondering how my body is or how my body is accepted amongst society. Pray those bold prayers, and they work. If you're in, a place of like, Lord, I just can't do it. Start with prayer. Positive self-talk is going to be your second step. I've seen people do it through writing Post-it notes and putting it on their mirrors, or repeating different phrases to themselves as they, wake up in the morning. Positive affirmation statements in the morning. Google is your best friend. Go on Google, positive affirmation for body shame. You'll get 1,000, and they will read your life, and you will be like, yes, thank you for that. A technique that I've used in the past, which is actually a counseling technique that we use with clients who have a hard time with their thought process, because that's what this is. Body shaming comes from a thought process. Someone told me something, it made me feel uncomfortable, and this is how I reacted. So what you can do now is you can thought stop. It's called thought stopping. And because I've conquered it at this point in my life, and now I can just look at somebody and be like, you want to say, what about my body? Oh, okay. We're fine, because I'm good. So thought stopping comes with taking, like, I usually use a hair tie because hair ties are attractive. But we tell clients like a rubber band or a hair tie. Something that's nice and comfortable, maybe even like a cute bracelet that you've had. And at the point where those negative thoughts start coming, it's an instant pop of the hair tie, an instant pop of the rubber band. That sends a physiological sensation through the body to say, hey, hold up, what? No, we don't like that. That sensation does not feel good with that word. That sensation does not feel good with that phrase. Let's reverse. We need to feel good right now. So then it automatically allows you to go like, no, girl, you're beautiful. You're great. You're amazing. There's nothing wrong with your body. Your body is great. Your body is made in the image of God. Whatever you need to say to yourself to stop the thought process so that you don't continue on with the negative behaviors, the acting out, the, girl, I'm going to go put on the skankiest thing ever because that's all I'm worth. And it just gives you that time to process. And then over time, you will automatically stop the thoughts from getting negative. It will just happen for you. And then finally, in reclaiming your fame, get an accountability partner. Join a life group. That's been my accountability for this process of loving me and accepting me for who I am and loving my body for what it was created for. And my body was created to do this. My body was created to live in this space and share with you ladies my understanding, my knowledge, and my growth. It was not meant to be a model or get on Love and Hip Hop or make every guy on the street holler and whistle. That's not what it was made for. And I've disclaimed that my fame right now is this. My fame is talking to you ladies and using my body and my arms and my legs and my mouth to talk to you all. So my life group I get through City Church Chicago. Yes, I'm doing a shameless plug right now. And it's an amazing life group of women that I meet with every Wednesday night. I have amazing leaders that, because we're such a group of women and we have accountability for each other, when I do get to the places where maybe the thought stopping isn't working, I know I have a group of women. I know I have an accountability partner that I can call on and let them know, like, hey, I'm not doing good. And they know what I'm struggling with. And they are able to encourage me in those moments, push me through, remind me to pray, remind me to do positive self-talk, and get me through back to my famous time. So, ladies, I hope you really enjoyed this week's session of disclaiming your shame and reclaiming your fame. I know you ladies are going to pump through for the rest of the week until next Thursday at 8 p.m. We will be on time next week. The little person made me a little off time this week. But you ladies, I challenge you this week to walk with your head held high, because you are famous. And you are famous for who you are and how you were made. And no one can take that away from you. Next Thursday, I can't wait. We are actually going to tune in with each other. Next week, are you guys ready for this? In our body shaming, we are going to talk to each other. And we are going to unleash the shame. So if you're interested in tuning in to the series with me, yes, with me, let me know. Shoot me a DM like, hey, Lauren, I want to be tuned in. It's going to be a time of vulnerability. This is a safe place. So in that moment, we're going to unleash the shames of our lives that have affected us. Maybe I haven't spoken about it yet. And this will be that time to do that. Chime in with each other and support each other in what we need to disclaim the shame and reclaim your fame. It's been awesome, ladies. I appreciate you. I have no events this week, but I promise I will keep you updated on the page on what we have coming up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Invite your friends. Invite your girlfriends. Like, girl, hey. We're having such a great time on Thursday nights. I need you to chime in. All videos will be posted on our Facebook page, S.L.A.Y. And then this will also be live for the next 24 hours. Thank you, ladies. It's been such a good evening. If you have any questions that I didn't ask, feel free to DM me. I will so answer them so that I make sure that you get all the answers I can as possible. I'll do the research if I don't know it. All right, ladies. Thank you. Have a good night.